Hello everyone. This video is going to get you started working with SmartMusic. I'm going to show you the basics of what the assignment's going to look like and the different options that you'll want to choose from when you're doing your assignment. So let's start by pulling up anthology number 63. This is from recording assignment 4. And the first thing you want to look at, right up here in the upper left corner, there's a drop-down menu. And this is where you choose what range you're going to sing in. So we have a treble voice option and a tenor bass voice option. The reason that we have to choose one of these is because SmartMusic can only assess what it hears in the octave that's notated. So if you need to sing this an octave lower, we have to have it be notated an octave lower. So here's the original in treble. If I go down to tenor bass, you can see the clef has changed, and we're now in treble clef sounding an octave below. I do it this way instead of putting it in bass clef because the notation is going to be the same in terms of staff placement as what you practiced in the anthology. So just make sure you choose the right one of these, otherwise SmartMusic will mark everything wrong, even though you're only singing an octave off. The next thing is to go to this tempo area. There is a minimum tempo that's set for all of the SmartMusic assignments. It's different for each one. You can make it faster than that, but you can't make it slower. So it is a little bit adjustable. This one is set to 120. Over here, the click box. You get to choose what kind of count off you want. So you can have a voice count off or a click count off. So whenever you record one of these examples, SmartMusic is going to give you a preparation. It's going to play a scale, and then it's going to play the first note that you'll sing to orient you to the key. But it's also going to click off a tempo. So if we hear what the click sounds like, it'll be like this. And now at this point, you would be singing and keeping the beat on your own. Ideally, you conduct yourself through these. It's going to be really important for keeping your rhythm and your tempo steady. Now, before we get to the voice count off, if you look down here, this is SmartMusic's assessment. And it's marking everything wrong because I didn't actually sing. It heard me talking, and that's what all these red notes are. The green notes are places where I somehow luckily was speaking the right pitch. Now we go back up here, go to voice count off. This is your other option. So let's start another take and hear what that sounds like.
One, two, set, go.
So it's really up to you which one you prefer. Try it both ways and see what makes you feel more prepared. I like the voice count off, but you might like the click better. It really doesn't matter. The location area is not something that we need to worry about. Over here in tracks, accompaniment is kind of irrelevant to us because we're working with single line melodies, so you can just ignore this. My part is the thing that you'll want to know how that works. So if you toggle on my part, click it, and then the yellow bar appears, that's going to actually play the melody while you do the take. So this is useful if you want to get it in your ear, if you want to just listen to what it sounds like, if you want to make sure you're singing it right, if you want to sing along with it as part of your preparation. And if we start it, it'll sound like this.
One, two, set, go.
So it's playing the melody and recording at the same time. Now, if we go down here, you can see that all the notes are green, which means they were all correct, which is shocking since the computer played them. Because of this, we can't accept my part being toggled on when you turn in a take. but it's a really useful tool in your practice and your preparation for the take. So we'll toggle that back off. Now, if we go over here to My Takes, this is where you can choose from the different versions that you recorded. You can see that we've got 3 different versions of the little examples that we had, and you can choose which one you want to keep, and that's what you will turn in. You can also listen back and hear your singing. So that's the basics of how it's going to work. Before we finish up, I want to show you a couple other examples that have a slightly different range issues and will look a little bit different. So let's exit out of this. And let's look at Anthology 77. Now here, this one was notated in the anthology in bass clef. So we have the opposite problem. What happens if you're a soprano and you need to sing this an octave higher? Well, we can go up and choose treble voice. And now you see it is notated with this clef. This is not a clef that you encounter very often. This is kind of the opposite of the treble clef with the 8 underneath it. This means bass clef, but it sounds an octave higher than notated. So again, you're still reading the same thing as you saw in the anthology in terms of the appearance on the staff, but SmartMusic knows you're going to sing it an octave higher. Now, one more will show us what it looks like when the original notation is a little bit high, maybe a little bit out of the range. Some of you sopranos maybe can sing this. It's not comfortable for me. So here, in examples like this, you're going to have 3 choices. There's the original notation, which is in the octave that it originally appeared in the anthology. Treble voice. So now we have the treble clef an octave below. And then for tenor and basses, we need to get 1 octave lower. So what I've chosen to do here is still notate it in treble clef. So you're still reading on the same clef, but again, notated an octave above the way it's going to sound. So what you can do, because it does appear different, is just read it out of the anthology so that your visual experience is consistent. Unfortunately, I don't know of any clefs that indicate sounding 2 octaves below, though maybe we could invent one and see if SmartMusic would adopt it. So that's the basics to get you started. Play around with those settings and play around with recording and listening, and you can use this as a practice tool. You can use it to improve your singing. I find that it really helps me sing better in tune because it will mark some of my out of tune notes wrong. And then I can go back and say, what can I improve? Especially if I listen back to a take and I can hear where I'm not quite in tune. So have fun, and I will see you in the next video.